She's a woman of all seasons, a vessel of strength, honor and dignity. She's a woman, yes, a woman, of all seasons.
Hi again, girls. We're back. All right, so in this last final part of this episode, we're just going to go through that P of people, of your destiny. Because every destiny, as you head towards your destiny, you must do so with relationships. You cannot get to your destiny without relationships. And this is the P I want to wind up with in this episode today. Now, the people that you will relate to as you head towards destiny come in different categories. There'll be your destiny connectors, such as your midwife or your prophet, who will midwife you and help you birth the giftings and your purpose out of you. Like Naomi was to Ruth, Mordecai was to Esther. This is one of your destiny connectors. Another destiny connector is a Jonathan or an Elizabeth in the Bible. You remember Jonathan? He was instrumental in helping David to enter his destiny by being an ally, an encourager, and helping him. And Elizabeth as well. When Mary was carrying baby Jesus, Elizabeth was very encouraging because these were two people carrying destiny, carrying purpose together. So they identified with one another. So you will need a peer. There will be a peer as you head towards destiny, an Elizabeth, a Jonathan, one who will understand what you're carrying and they'll respect it and they will encourage you and edify you and help you to get to where you're going. There will be a Judas. Now, destiny connectors are not necessarily positive. Some come negative. But if you're wise, it will work in your favor. A Judas is one who betrays you, but in so betraying you, he ends up betraying you towards your purpose, like Judas did to Jesus. He betrayed him, yes, but he ultimately pushed him and provoked him towards the same cross that Jesus was ultimately supposed to hang on so that he could fulfill his destiny and his purpose and be our Savior today. There'll be an Elkanah. An Elkanah is a destiny connector in a way, although he sounds negative, because an Elkanah is a mediocre kind of person, a person who thinks, who wants you to settle for less than you're called for. Elkanah was Hannah's husband, and when Hannah was barren, he constantly kept convincing her that she didn't need to cry for a child. But Hannah knew she had been called for more than all the food he could give her and all the favor her husband could give her. And an Elkanah is someone who must be in your life. You can't get rid of them, but you have to somehow tolerate them. Know that they cannot understand what you're made of or where you're going, and let them be. But don't allow them to distract you or to make you settle for less. A Penina is a mocker, like an Ishmael, one who mocks you and wants to taunt you and frustrate you because of your current lack or barrenness in a situation to make you give up and feel discouraged. But you must never focus on a Penina or an Ishmael. Instead, you need to focus on the one who can break your barrenness, like Hannah did. She went to Shiloh, the place of worship. She focused on God because she knew only he could break her barrenness. So that's a Penina, a destiny connector. Then there'll be other types of people you will need on your way to destiny. You need your women friends, your 7 Spice Girls, a truth, somebody who tells you the truth, somebody who is your strength, I call that your garlic, strong, a strong friend will be your strength in times of weakness. Then there'll be your ginger. Your ginger is a kind of friend who is like a bodyguard who protects and speaks up for you and protects you from those trying to attack you, even though later on she'll tell you what you shouldn't have done, but at the front, she'll protect you. Then there's your salt, as I said. That's the one who tells you the truth when no other friend can tell you the truth. You need a salt, because not every one of your women friends is graced to tell you the truth and for you to take it and learn from it. So there must be a salt friend in your life. There'll be a cinnamon. This is a cheerleader. This is a friend who thinks you are all that. You're the best thing that happened since sliced bread. And they cheer you on. They promote you. That you can never do wrong in their eyes. And we're going to look at all these spice women and spice girls. And I'm going to tell you how to respond to each one of them, how to respond appropriately so that they benefit you in that friendship without pushing you in the wrong direction. Because too much salt can also be too much and it can discourage you. Even a cheerleader who is too cheerful can make you forget that you need to be corrected. So there's a balance in each of these friends. And when we come to deal with those 7 Spice Girls, we're going to talk about each one of them, their value and how you're to respond to them, and what value you add to them in the process. But I also want to talk about 7 types of suitors that, as a seasoned woman in your quest for true love, you will inevitably come across. Now, one of them, and I'm doing an overview, remember, girls, so that we'll go into detail with regard to each of these elements later on. So the first one is the kind of suitor who is like a sofa decor. He's lazy, doesn't want to work. He's always has a deal he's making here and there. So you end up being the breadwinner. He's supposed to also be the breadwinner. But you end up being the breadwinner because he's too lazy to get a proper real job. He's always chasing after deals that don't work. And I'll tell you how to deal with such a suitor. The other type is a drama king. This is a celeb, maybe a football star, an actor, who's all about himself. And he may be interested in you, not because he's looking for a wife material or a serious relationship, but because he wants to complement his dramaness and his celebrityness. So he wants a trophy wife. He wants somebody. He's looking after outside beauty. He's looking at the outward appearance, your beauty, how tall are you, how do you dress. He'll literally control and manipulate how you dress and how you look because he's looking for a trophy, not a serious relationship or a wife at any rate. Then there is a golden heir. This is the mommy's boy, and he's usually the son of a single mother, very pampered. He's his mother's joy and pride. And here you are, maybe you're coming out of another relationship with your 2-3 kids, and you're probably older than him, which is okay, but he's interested in you, and there could be a potential relationship, but you have to take into account that his mother will always fight that relationship, because she cannot understand how her precious golden heir is probably going to go into this relationship with a woman with 2-3 kids, a woman older than him, and they may not even get children. She may not even want children with him. You may not want children with him. So she won't understand how she will not even become a grandmother. So that's the golden heir, and I'll tell you all about him in another episode. There's also the wolf in sheep's clothing. This is the kind of guy who comes to church. He's looking for a nice church girl, and he has all the protocol, all the church culture. He knows how to talk. He knows how to amen. He knows how to praise. He knows all what you want to hear. And he'll get away with it for a while until he's under pressure. Then you see the true self. So this is the kind of guy you don't want to get into a quick, serious relationship yet until you've tested him. And I'll tell you all about him and how to manage him later on. Then there is the gold getter. This is a guy, he's not even a gold digger. You know, at least a gold digger is one who digs for the gold, so he exerts himself. But this is the kind of guy who wants to just get the gold. It's already been dug, and he just wants to help himself. This is the kind of guy who will marry you or go into a relationship with you because he knows you're loaded. You're already doing very well financially, or you come from a wealthy background, so he wants to tap into that. He's not interested in you as a person. So you need to watch out for the red flags, and we'll talk about that later on. And then there's like a baggage wagon. He comes with history. He comes with an ex-wife, a divorcee. He comes with, he's a widower or he's a divorcee. He comes with children with an ex-wife or an ex-deceased wife. He comes with in-laws. So you're getting into a situation where there's already a lot of baggage. And it can work potentially, but we'll talk about how it can work if it can work. Because all these relationships can work with the right strategy, the right counseling, the right guidance. They can work. And then I'm going to talk about your 7 siblings. In your part of the people who will be instrumental in ushering you to destiny, will be your siblings, people in your family. There are 7 types of siblings that each woman will inevitably have in her journey to destiny. One is an Esau to a Jacob. An Esau is one who is actually ideally intended to be the firstborn. He's the birthright owner, but he gives up the birthright and you quickly take advantage of it and you lay hold of it. So that's a situation where we need to talk about what's a right way of laying hold of what is available without snatching or manipulating it out of another person. The other kind of sibling is a Leah to a Rachel. If you remember in the book, in the Bible, Leah ended up marrying Jacob. Yet it was Rachel who Jacob loved. This is a situation that happens, not necessarily a relationship situation, but for every seasoned woman, there is a Leah. One who takes what belongs to you as you head to destiny, whether in the marketplace, the corporate world, in whichever sector you're in, takes whatever belongs to you, and you have to then take it later. And we'll talk about the dynamics of how to handle that. For every Joseph, they are his brothers. Your siblings, those who don't understand the calling on your life, the dream you carry, and they will try to kill you because you're favored. Mostly you may be favored, and they'll try to kill you because of that favor and because of that dream you carry. And we'll talk about how to deal with those siblings and how to manage them, how to relate and respond to them, and still get to your destiny. There's a Martha for every Mary. And this is where you find you already are focused. You know where you're focused. You know what you want. You know what will take you to destiny. But your Martha, your sibling Martha, hasn't yet got the revelation of what it takes to get to destiny. So she tries to derail and distract you. And we'll talk about how managing your Martha. For every Isaac, there's an Ishmael. An Ishmael is one who came before the Isaac, but he shouldn't have been there. You are the Isaac, you are the legitimate person for that position and that post. The Ishmael is there by default, not by design. And you need to understand how to relate to your Ishmael and how to survive your Ishmael and how to still make it to your destiny. And for every Moses, there's a Miriam. There's a sibling who initially is responsible for seeing you through. But a time comes, because you're the chosen one, a time comes when you need to stand on your own feet, and the Miriam in your life needs to understand that you are the vision bearer. You are the carrier of the vision. And that Miriam needs to submit to that authority in you without constantly reminding you that she's the one who brought you to where you are. And without her, you cannot survive. And because God is not a God of confusion, and he knows why you are the chosen one and Miriam is not the chosen one. Now, for every Moses, there's an Aaron. There's somebody who God will assign, a sibling who will speak on your behalf and compliment you because they have a strength that you don't have and you have a strength that they don't have. And it's a complementary kind of relationship. So those are the kind of siblings that you will come across typically as you head on your way to destiny. And we'll talk about how to relate to them, how to respond, and how to still make it to destiny despite. Then there are 7 ladders you need in your career. You need a mentor, you need a sponsor, you need a peer, somebody on the same wavelength, somebody on the same level. You can encourage each other, benchmark against one another. There'll be a mentee. There'll always be those under you that you will need to mentor and empower, even as you're being empowered and mentored by somebody else. And those are people that you will need as you head to destiny. There could be many other more, but I've selected the key ones that I feel we need to discuss in detail and understand how to deal with those relationships, how to relate, how to respond appropriately, and still be able to fulfill your destiny on time and in the way that God intended you to fulfill that destiny. So you may be saying, Auntie Sally has said so much, but she hasn't quite unpacked each issue separately and in detail. And that's what I told you at the beginning. I said we're doing an overview of these issues to whet your appetite because we're going to go into detail on each of these issues in later episodes. So thank you for listening. God bless you.